I'm sleeping in my car. I need you. Man, hey, hey. She made her bed. She needs to lie in it. This story is so funny, man. He got this girl locked up. Guys, this is a follow-up to a story I did recently. This guy was dating somebody. He found out she was cheating on him, and and she was a criminal. This dude, he called the police on her, got her locked up. He called the local authorities. He had a warrant out for her arrest. He got her locked up. Oh, because I think he didn't even find out that she cheated at first. She tried to steal his stuff and sell it. Like she was a criminal. And he got his stuff back. He got her arrested. He's back, guys. He's back. If you didn't hear the video I'm talking about, I'm gonna play it first. But if you know exactly what I'm talking about, it's the girl that worked at McDonald's. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Go down to the description and click part 2. It'll take you straight to what I'm about to read right now. But let's get into it.
Cheating ex-girlfriend is sitting in jail right now. She had the nerve to ask me to bail her out. Hello, True Story Epic. I love the platform here. I'd love to share my very recent story. Please do not expose my email. That's my real government name. You can refer to me as Punisher. I feel as though I got my retribution. My ex, you can call her imposter. She cheated on me, stole belongings from my home, and put a false crime on me. Unfortunately, my dumb ass tried to get serious with a 37-year-old Mickey D's worker. I don't know what the heck I was thinking. Scratch that. I know what I was thinking. I was thinking about sex, thinking with my other head. She is good looking, but the simple fact that she never aspired to be much in her life was an additional red flag. She told me this one night when we were hanging out. So how I met her? I decided one day on my lunch break I wanted some good old Mickey D's. I work as a FedEx delivery driver. I typically pack food, but this day I wanted a Big Mac and a large fry. No salt with ice water. I know, TMI. Okay, sorry anyway. I dine in, and I notice imposter the moment I walked in. Nice set of melons, hair and nails looking good, and I could tell she had a Wagoneer from the front. Hip to thigh ratio was accurate, so I knew it was real. I would have never guessed she was 37, though. I figured a young 20 or 21. I'm 33, and I know some people look down on that age gap, but I'm not against it. I've never been with a woman younger than 24, though. Anyway, I get to the counter, and I start ordering my food. I had the option to order on some screen for self-checkout or something, but I wasn't going to do that. I needed to talk to her. She immediately starts flirting with me. She first says, "So where's my package? I've been waiting on it for weeks. Almost forgot that I was a FedEx driver, and I was a little confused at first and it didn't hit me." I said, "Oh, what you order? Maybe I can pull some strings and try to get it to you." She waved her hand at me and said, "I'm just joking. How are you?" I said, "I'm good. I'm good." I ordered my food and then we started talking a little more. Luckily, there was no one else waiting in line, so it was easy to keep this conversation going. I ended up telling her about my son and how the following weekend I was going to be going to one of his basketball games. She was asking me about my child's mother, and that's when I knew she was really into me, and she was trying to figure this out. She then says I need to hurry up and try to have kids. I'm getting old. I then asked her about her age. I said, "What do you mean you're getting old?" She says, "How old do you think I am?" I said, "You're not older than 21, I can guarantee you that." She smiled and said, "Wow, you are so sweet. Thank you so much." And I'm just looking at her thinking, "Okay, how old are you?" She says, "You want me to tell you my age?" I said, "Absolutely." She says she's 37 years old. I was floored. I took my hat off and slammed it on the ground. There's no way, that's impossible. Some of the other workers started cracking up laughing. They were saying we say the same things to her. There's no way she's that age. I think her birth certificate is wrong. She said for sure she's 37. I said, wow, your family's genes should be sold in a bottle. My food was ready, but before I left the counter, I told her I definitely wanted to hang out with her and maybe take her out sometime. She smiled and said that would be great, we can do that. And that's how I met Imposter. We started hanging out often. I took her out on dates. She invited me to her house immediately, actually. During the second date, we were at a bar. We were there till 2 a.m. and she's just sitting there smiling at me. And I said, what? I said, you know what? I know what it is. And that's when I leaned in and kissed her. We made out after that. She told me that she wanted me to come to her house. You know what I was thinking, but she immediately said, just hear me out. I really like you. I'm not inviting you over to have sex, but I wouldn't mind cuddling with you. I'm a big cuddler. I said I respect that. I remember her telling me, okay, I'm not playing hard to get. I'm not trying to get you to take it from me or be more aggressive. I'm being honest with you. I absolutely 100% don't want to have sex, but I want you to come over and I'd love to cook for you in the morning. I stayed at her house and we cuddled, and it was great. I thought this was a good girl. Man, I would have never in my life expected her to turn out the way she did. She actually had to do the things for me to believe it. Someone could have come to me and told me she's a criminal. She deals with drug dealers. She has a very sketchy past. I would have called them a liar. So, during breakfast that she made for me, it was amazing. Pancakes, sausage, eggs, apple juice, which is my favorite. She went out that morning to go get apple juice because she knows it's my favorite morning drink. I was becoming very impressed with this woman until, during breakfast, she tells me how she's never really had ambition in her life. Her father spoiled her growing up. She never needed for anything, and he kind of set her up for failure because she never had desire to be anything. I said so when you were in elementary. You never wanted to be a doctor or a dentist or maybe an actress or a pilot or anything. She says absolutely not. She's never even imagined herself working a career. I said, wow. So when you were 18, what happened? She told me she didn't move out of her parents' home until she was 27 years old. Her father paid for everything. He paid her car. He paid her insurance. He paid to get her hair nails done. He paid for absolutely everything. She needed food. She wanted to eat out. She ate at the house. She didn't have to do anything. She said her mother was given the same treatment. Her father just wanted to take care of the girls. It was just those three growing up, her father, her mother, and her. She said that's just the man, and her father is. The only reason he isn't doing it right now is because he's not able to work anymore. He tries to, she says. When she goes over to his house, he's trying to give her a bunch of things, and even if she's eaten already, he's trying to feed her. That's the person he is. To this day, he takes care of her mother no matter what. What I did like about Imposter was honesty when it came to her growing up and how it shaped her. She thinks that this treatment has ruined her life. I mean, she's alive and she's doing well and she's healthy, but the fact that she has no desire to ever go to school or learn a trade or learn a skill. She'd rather do it the easy way. Okay, now I have to work. I'm going to go work at McDonald's or I'm going to go work at a grocery store. She knew once her dad couldn't work anymore and he was getting disability that she'd have to start working. She said she felt bad in the beginning when he started getting disability because she continued to allow him to do things, but it just wasn't enough. He couldn't take care of her lifestyle anymore. Her rent was $2,800. Her hair was over $300 a month. Her nails twice a month were over $150 a month, both times. So, $300. She had to return her BMW because car payment was too high. Her daddy used to pay for it. She currently drives a Honda. Very nice car too, but she talks about that BMW often. She would always mention how she missed that car, but it all makes sense because I found out she ran around with this crowd. She had a history with this crowd, and she would still do some things for these people every once in a while. I see why she did. It was easy money. So, I wasn't surprised to learn that she dealt around with dealers and thugs. So, in the beginning of us dating, there were a few times where she took trips. It'll be with her girlfriend or a group of girls. It never bothered me. I didn't think she was up to anything fishy. I never got any red flags, but I learned that they were moving, let's just call it work or packs, for a group of guys, trips to Chicago, trips to St. Louis, trips to Atlanta. This girl was helping distribute. She had a warrant in Georgia. Apparently, she was caught by the police and escaped. I found out by snooping. And when I found out the bullcrap she did to me, you better believe I called the police on her dumb ass. I am a stand-up citizen. And if I see a crime being taken place, or I know of a criminal that's in my neighborhood, better believe I'm turning into a Karen and I'm calling the police. Your kind aren't welcomed here, ma'am. So, Imposter and I dated for a couple months before we got serious. She didn't give me any sex until we got serious. She told me that was important to her. She doesn't just go around throwing her body around, and she hates that people judge her because of her body type. She is shaped amazingly, like top and bottom, and on top of that, she's very, very pretty, so I hear what she was saying. I could imagine just wanting to hit it heck when I saw her that day at McDonald's. She could have told me, "Hey, want to go to your truck really quick and get in the back of it?" I probably would have done it, but her telling me this and me believing it, she probably was lying to me. But it made me like her even more, and I started to respect her even though I felt she could do better, job-wise. That just wasn't really that important. See, with men, and I'm not saying I have the best job in the world, but I make really good money for what I do. But men in general typically do date down. It's just something that's okay in society and something that men do, but it's rare to find a woman that will date down. Most women won't at all. I don't care if they made 5,000 more than a man. They're above him in their eyes. And they need a superstar athlete because they make 65,000 a year. That's how they think. Men don't think that way. So, we start dating seriously and things are great. She kept her job at McDonald's. I'm not going to lie. I wondered if she'd want to quit her job because now she's with me and she's so used to being treated by her father, but that never happened. She would talk about how much she loved that job. I know it sounds weird, but kind of makes sense. She missed out on her childhood growing up. When I worked fast food, I worked at Wendy's and most of us there were young. The youngest was 15. We were all in high school. That was the thing when we were kids. She missed out on that. She didn't have that. She never had to work. Her daddy took care of everything, so working now, she thinks, great. I have an actual job, and I get a paycheck. She worked almost 40 hours per week. I remember it not being full time, but I think it was close. She was okay with it. This is when my antennas started to go up, so she no longer was living in a $2,800 a month apartment anymore. That was before, but her rent for her apartment was $1,600 a month. I did the math. $12.48 an hour, and let's just say 40 hours is $499 a week. Times 4 is a little less than $2,000 a month. Rent is $1,600 a month, so that leaves $400. Hair and nails and other bills. Plus, if anyone didn't notice, I didn't take into account taxes at all. Where's the extra money coming from? So, after 2 months of us dating seriously, I asked a question. I said, so, you were at McDonald's. You tell me your rent is at $1,600. You never complain about any bill or anything, which I think is great. Do you have money saved up or something, or do you have another job? That I don't know about. How do you pay for all this on a McDonald's salary? She laughed and said, okay, well, I don't have a bunch of money saved. I have some money saved. No, I don't have a job or anything. Why are you asking me this? Basically, guys, she just dodged that question, which made me want to search. I didn't ask any more questions. I just ignored it and change the conversation, but I was going to find something. So immediately after that, I started noticing some things. I will say I am a hoarder, but I'm a clean hoarder, not a messy one. I keep a lot of things that I don't use. I have several laptops that I've gone through. I have microphones. By the way, I'm an artist as well. Not a real artist, not someone that's famous or trying to be famous, and I'm not trying to promote anything, but for the most part, I make music for the fun of it. I listen to my music. How narcissistic is that? Right. Is it narcissistic that I enjoy my own music? I'm a singer. I play acoustic guitar, a couple other instruments as well, but mainly acoustic guitar. And I make songs, and I write songs, and I listen to my own music. Now, I guess in a way I would love to blow up or something because I do have a Spotify. That's where I put all my music, but I get maybe 25 plays outside of me. Now, the bulk of my plays for my monthly listeners will say more than 25. Most of that is just me. I just sit and listen to my own music. It's just something I enjoy. If I never become a famous singer or songwriter, it doesn't bother me at all. I truly enjoy listening to my music, and I'll drive and listen and say, wow, I can't believe I wrote that. Oh my gosh, I hit that note pretty well. But anyway, so I have a room where I have a lot of electronics, stuff I don't use. Sometimes I go back and use it, but they're all in a closet on a rack, and there's microphones there. And if I'm working on something and I need a special device or a special mic, I'll run and get it and use it and things like that. She has seen this room, and I have keyboards in there. I have a lot of stuff, guys. There's a lot of money in that closet. Since dealing with her, I fell back on my music, which is a red flag. Someone should not distract you from your passion or your hobbies. If someone is distracting you from that, you don't need to deal with them. They're taking away that gift from God. God gave you that gift, and you're allowing someone to distract you and take you away from it. Anyway, I was looking for my microphone in there, and I'm looking all over for it, and I can't find it. The second time I went in there looking for my beat maker, my Korg Volca to work on a beat, I couldn't find it. I started to grow suspicious. So yeah, guys, you're going to call me stupid here. You're going to call me stupid. But I had given her a key. Why I gave her a key? Well, she promised me that she wanted to do something nice for me and straighten up my condo, cleaning, and she wanted to meal prep for me and cook. Told me to a couple $100 on the counter while I was out, and she'd go shopping for me and meal prep and clean up my house for me. I thought that was sweet, but she told me to go and make a key. I was reluctant at first, but then I thought I'm just being paranoid. I know some of you are going to say, oh, I don't care about you getting your things stolen. You deserved it. I do know this. When I couldn't find those 2 items, I immediately called and got the locks changed on my place, both front and back, and now in my head, I was thinking someone could have stolen the key from her, but she never said anything about it, so that would be weird. I don't know, a lot of stuff was playing in my head, so I questioned her about it. I said, hey, I'm not accusing you of anything, but I noticed in my other room some items were missing, and I just want to make sure that you didn't misplace them, or maybe you wanted to borrow it or something. She looks at me and says, are you accusing me of stealing your stuff? I didn't steal your stuff. I said I told you before I was asking you. I'm not accusing you of anything. I'm simply asking you. I have these items missing. They're always there. I always put things back in the same place. Just asking you. Did you happen to go in there? She says, yeah, I was in there. I was just curious and wondering if anything needed straightened up, and I actually was going to organize it. But I realized, well, he probably has this here for a reason, so I didn't touch anything. I just shut the door. I said, okay, that's all I needed to hear. I'm just missing a couple items, and I might have misplaced them somewhere. Let me check my car. They may be in my trunk. Sometimes I travel with stuff. Sometimes I'll take a weekend trip to a hotel to work on a beat, to work on music, and sometimes I'll take a couple of my items with me and my laptop, but they weren't in my trunk or anything. I'm not that careless. I was happy when I got the locks changed. $400. That guy robbed me, but that's another story. I told her it was okay that she didn't need to come and clean my place anymore or cook for me. She said okay, but not even 2 weeks later. She calls me. She was off work this day, but I was on the job. She calls me on my break and says, "Hey, did you change the locks to your house?" I said, "Yeah, why?" She says, "Wow, why would you do something like that? I was coming to clean and cook for you." I reminded her that I didn't need that. I could just hire somebody to do that, like I used to. Literally, a prep store is down the street from me. I used to go quite often. It's very convenient service, especially if you're busy. She calls herself getting an attitude with me. You're starting to act funny towards me. You don't want me in your house. You think I stole your stuff. I said you told me you didn't. I don't think you would do anything like that. I don't need you to clean or cook for me. It's fine this weekend. Let's just cook together, meal prep together. Let's clean together. How about that? She says, no, I'm good. And she hung up on me. I wasn't going to tolerate that disrespect, so in my head, I was done with her. F it. I don't need you. But for some reason, I pick up the phone later that night. Honestly, I'm going to tell you why. I was thinking with my other head again. I was feeling away, and I was hoping she was wanting to apologize, which she was, and I just wanted to smash. She called me and she told me she was sorry, and she kept talking about how she didn't steal from my place, and I kept telling her I believed her. Don't worry about it. She asked if she could come over, and I told her absolutely. She came over and we did the do. I remember that night. That was the last time we did it, and I tore her ash up. Part of me was pissed off because she hung up on me earlier that day. That was so rude, but I put her to sleep and her phone was sitting there. I knew the passcode because I remember a month ago I watched her put it in. She was sitting in front of me, and she picked her phone up and she put her passcode in. Now she doesn't have an iPhone, so it doesn't do the facial recognition thing, but she has a PIN code for her phone, Google Pixel. So while she's there snoring, I grab the phone and I go into my living room. I put in a passcode, thinking, man, she probably changed it. It was the same exact passcode. I was so happy. Where I want to go first. I felt like a kid in the candy store. Something was just telling me to look through her phone. I'll find something. Straight to the messages I go. It was a thread with some guy named Darnell. Lo and freaking behold, as I'm scrolling through, she is sending this guy pictures of my microphone and my beat machine. She's asking him, is this the one that you were talking about? I'll sell it to you. I got plenty more stuff too, if you need it. The guy says, and I quote, no, that's not what I want. That shish right there, trash. She indeed stole my stuff from my apartment. This lying bish. I go back down to look at the rest of the conversation, and this guy is asking her to just record everything she has, and he'll tell her if he wants it. That message between them was the same day where she called me wondering why I changed the lock on my place. Dude, she was stealing my stuff and selling it. What was her plan to sell all of it and then just quit her job at McDonald's? I was ticked off. I go through other messages, and this is how I found out about her moving packs for thugs and dealers with her girlfriends. I'm reading through all the messages, and they're planning another trip. And how I found out about the warrant is because they were talking about it in a group chat. We can't go back to GA. That's too risky. We got a warrant down there, and we are cooked. Caused me to do some investigation. I started going through my ex-girlfriend imposter's pockets. I pulled out her license and I'm going through her stuff. I got her social security number. I did some investigation and indeed found out that she had a warrant in Georgia. I wasn't going to say anything. I wanted to get some type of retribution. Does this mean I'll probably never get my items back? Now I had an entire plan. I was going to call the authorities in Georgia and let them know. I knew exactly where Miss Imposter was, and in fact, I know where she works, and I know her schedule. Yep, I snitched. Now, how she was able to get a real job with a warrant, I have no idea. I was specifically remembering as a kid having to get background checks to get a job. I don't know if it's because it was in a different state, it didn't show up. No clue. Don't ask me. But also, I wanted to get my things back. I figured they were in her apartment, so I finessed my way to her apartment. I told her I wanted breakfast, and she has pancake mix at her house. She's like, well, we can run over and get it really quick and come back. I said, why do all that? Let's just go to your house. Let's go to your place. I'm tired of sitting here anyway. So when she woke up that morning, we went to her place. We were chilling in the living room, and she was not wanting me to go to the restroom and everything. I said, I can't go to the restroom. I have to pee. She says, don't go in my room. She walks up to me and starts kissing me and says, because I know what you want. You want some more of this, don't you? I said, absolutely. She says, well, we can do it here in the living room or in the kitchen, wherever you want. I don't feel like laying down in the bed, though. I said, all right, but can I go pee first? She let me go as soon as walk into the restroom. I shut the door, but I quietly opened it back up. Then I closed it softly, and I went straight into her bedroom. Right there, my equipment is sitting on her bed. Right there, guys. I said, how in the world am I going to get this out of here? And I need to work quickly. So I opened her bedroom window. She has a ground level apartment. Placed the items outside of the window right there. I hope and pray it wouldn't magically start raining or someone walked by and picked them up. I go into the restroom, flush the toilet, and walk out. I said, all right. She's like, dang, you have to take a dump? No, is food done yet? Starving. I finished my food and said, oh my gosh, I gotta go get my charger. I'll be back. She's sitting there sleepy, falling asleep. I'm telling you guys, I put in work the night before, no cap. I go straight to where her bedroom window is. Sure, enough my equipment is right there. I grab it, throw it in my car, and run back inside, and I tell her my stomach hurts really bad, and I'm not trying to take a crap over here. I'm going to go home. She says, all right, bye, love you. That was the last time I spoke to her. I declined her call and text message from the jail system asking to speak with me. I pulled over. I didn't even go home. I pulled over at a gas station and I called the local authorities. They told me that I didn't need to call anyone in Georgia. They'd handle it. I called the state of Georgia anyway. When I called the specific city and a police station contact number given online, I told them I knew of a person that has a warrant, and she's roaming around free here as if she never committed a crime. I told them that I called the local authorities, and they told me I didn't need to call anyone in Georgia, but I wanted to call and turn her in and make sure justice gets served. I'm not going to physically turn her in, but I'll tell you guys exactly where she works and exactly where she lives. The lady I spoke to was very appreciative and told me she's glad that I actually called them. She appreciated my noble services. I felt like the most upstanding citizen in the world. This bitch is about to go to jail. When she called me at 12 in the morning, I was worried thinking she was asking me to come bail her out or something. But I'm thinking, how the heck does she have her cell phone? Anyway, I answer she's at home. Said she had fell asleep earlier and she's been asleep off and on. But she just wanted to hear my voice and see what I was up to. I played cool like everything was good. She never said anything about my equipment. She didn't notice it gone. I guess she told me that she didn't want to go to work, but she has a full shift to work, but she definitely rested, but she's not going to stay up all night. She's going to call me on my lunch break. She never called me on lunch break because she was arrested that morning at Mickey D's. It was on the news. She got arrested at Mickey D's while she was working. A fleet of officers came in, so apparently this is what happened. They got caught distributing drugs in Georgia. They got away high-speed chase. The officer said they saw 2 weapons in the car as well. On 2 of the persons. I don't know if it was on her or her friends. I just know that she was in the car and the police had all of their identification cards. Bunch of idiots. They gave the cops ID and they knew they were going to get arrested because of what they had in the car or what the dog sniffed in the car. I don't know. I know they took off. Way back northwest, I guess they ditched the car. I don't know, but her ash got caught and I don't feel bad about it. So I also mentioned how she cheated on me. So in those text messages, I saw that she was having sex with other people. That scared me, man, because we stopped using condoms. I know, stupid. I got checked up and everything was good. There were two guys she was having sex with and meeting up with late at night, like late night booty calls. Anyway, man, I punished her. I got my retribution. You steal from me, cheat on me, and just deceive me. I'm going to get you back, and I did. The way she did try to message me through some jail app asking me to talk to her, or I can't remember exactly what the app said, but I knew it was from her because it had her name on it, and I had to accept it and pay a fee. I wasn't going to do that. She actually tried calling from the same system as well. I didn't answer. I don't know what time she's facing. She gets off, I don't know, but my plan is to move from here. I like my job. I'm not moving too far, but I'm definitely leaving this place. I'm going to rent this place out. My realtor helped me get this place. I'm going to rent a place somewhere else. Anyway, hope my story is entertaining for you or somewhat useful to someone out there. Follow up Girlfriend Instinct Karma. True story epic. She got released on bail and she was back. She came to my place begging to stay and says she's had a come to Jesus moment while locked up. Her eye was swollen. She claims some girl beat her up in jail because she said she was too pretty and she needed her self-esteem lowered. She cried about having to sleep in a car if I didn't let her stay with me. Her parents are both in the hospital and she's frustrated. The karma my ex-girlfriend received is tremendous. I'll let you know what has happened. By the way, now currently, she's back in jail with no bail this time. She didn't last long outside, so when I sent that email, my ex was locked up, since she's shown up at my place. When I looked out the peephole, I couldn't tell who she was. I kept quiet. When she was knocking, I said nothing, but then she said, "I can see you looking through the peephole. Open, please, I need you." Damn, I opened up and she's asking if she can come inside. She needs my help. I said, "No. You ghosted and abandoned me. I don't play that. I'm done." So, she still has no clue that I'm the one who snitched on her. I played like she abandoned me. She says I tried reaching you from jail. Why didn't you respond? I told her I never received such, and I'm not here to play silly games. I'm not stupid. You thought the grass was greener somewhere else. It didn't work out, and now you're back here trying to get with me. I'm not dumb. You could have just told me, "Hey, I like somebody else, and I want to move on," or "Hey, we aren't working out," and I would have been okay with that. I wouldn't have been upset. I wouldn't have stalked you down and wanted answers or anything. I would have simply said, "Okay," and went on with my life, but you thought it was okay. She tried to interrupt me, but I kept talking. You thought it was okay to just abandon me. Listen, I've been through this before. I know how women are. Y'all want to move on, or you get bored, or you think something else is exciting and you run off. Just be an adult and say that. It really doesn't bother me, but you come back after that. I know where you've been. I'm good. You have a nice life. She started crying. You have to believe me. I shut the door in her face. I played it off like I knew nothing about her jail time and her being arrested when I'm the one that actually got her arrested. I tried to go on with my life, but she would not stop. She sent me a mugshot that she got offline. I guess her mugshot is on the internet. I texted her back and laughed. "So, your new boyfriend knows how to use Photoshop, huh? The screenshot is clearly fake. Get out of here. The nerve of you to text me from his number, or did he make you get a new number? Listen, leave me alone. I don't have time for this bullcrap. I know everything. I just want you to admit it, but I actually know everything. So until you tell me the truth, just leave me alone. Man, I was playing so many tricks on this woman. She was going crazy. It was her life's mission to prove to me that she went to jail and never left me for another man. Guess what I did? I used all the information I had about the guy she was sleeping with, and I used that against her to prove that I knew she was cheating on me to go along with my story if she left me for another man. So I told her about when she met such and such here and the other guy there, and how they hooked up that night and this night. I told her I said I know everything. You can just stop. Get over it. We are done. You thought the grass was going to be greener, but it wasn't. It's okay, just live and learn. Don't text me again from this number. I'm blocking it. Guys, it was great. It was amazing. I really messed with her head. I then later got a letter, and it was from my ex. She was in jail again. She told me everything that happened and apologized for cheating, but swore she stopped when she realized that she loved me. So, the letter. Dear love, I know I am not perfect, but I'm writing you from the county jail. I'll explain everything when this is over, but I'm not guilty of any crime. I love you. I realize this. I love you more than anyone ever will, and this love for you in my heart feels heavy when you are not around to receive it. I didn't abandon you. I'll never do that. I will admit, I cheated you twice, but I didn't know I loved you then. Please forgive me for what I did. I wish I could go back in time and change my actions. Please give me a chance to make it up to you. Come back, baby. I promise to never behave in the same way again. I love you. I need you to send money for me and come visit me, please. I need you, please.
I'm sleeping in my car. I need you. Man, hey. She made her bed. She needs to lie in it. You know what I mean? Like, you don't need to help her. She cheated on you. She stole your belongings. She was a criminal moving packs or whatever. She just had so much wrong with her. No. No, ma'am. Sit right where you sit right where you are. Oh man, guys, if you want to send in a story, send it to truestorynation@gmail.com. Here, I'll put it on the screen. That's truestorynation@gmail.com. I'll catch you guys at the next one.